Welcome, Week 9, Friday Night Insights. Here we go. A lot of games to talk about. Last week, Ben goes 32-3 in his overall picks. That was a couple better than Wes, and he's up 5 on the year.
Long time to go. Lots of
5.
games.
Yeah, he can make that up on state final weekend.
He'll pull the goalie. He's pulling the goalie any day now.
We start with our surprises from a week before. What do you got, Ben?
Surprises, Illini West going to the air. The Chargers are showing they're kind of rounding into form for the postseason. Michael Lafferty throws 5 scores, runs for another.
Wow.
That's Jim Under.
Parenthetical Carthage.
Yeah, Carthage.
Even the
home
AP
of-
does that because everybody named themselves some combination of Illini and West. So
Even if they're in the
it's
East.
Carthage. Yeah. Wes, who surprises you?
Rich Woods a little bit. I know they've played well the entire year, but they went into, a game against Woodruff last week where Woodruff's always peaked to play that game, and they held them to as few yards as they've ever had under Thornton. Or under Thornton's a good team. Thornton had a couple of years where they were growing.
Yeah.
But their playoff years, the last 2 years, this
Wow.
is the fewest yards. They were all Dan Artis was all over the place. They really played with the focus after the previous week losing the title.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Game of the week. Keep the floor. Who's your game of the week?
Washington and Springfield. This is an extremely interesting game. They're very similar in the level of sort of the second best team in a similarly sort of comparable conference. Springfield, sort of the class of the Sim State 8 behind Springfield, Sacred Heart Griffin, and
Yeah.
58
Washington
points
behind
behind.
Metamora.
48.
Yeah, 48.
48 points
Yeah.
behind.
It was-
Washington's
it
going
was-
down there with half a team? A
Yeah,
little better than that.
they're missing Chase Catton, who torn some knee ligaments last week against East Peoria. He's out for the whole year.
Wow.
Cody Meeks, a linebacker and part-time running back, has a concussion. He'll probably play next week, but it's sort of a precautionary thing with him. And Bobby Miller has a shoulder injury, who he may also return next week. So it's one of those things where they don't have to have the win. But
Yeah, I'd sit him.
Yeah.
But, okay, Ben, what do you got for game of the week?
Game of the week, DMAC versus Tremont. Goes back more than 50 years. It's always a heated rivalry, short trip down Route 9. And they've kind of taken turns dominating the series. DMAC dominated the 70s and 80s, and DMAC dominated from the late 80s up to the 90s. But Tremont's taken the last 2 in a row, and
They're going to knock them out. Spoiler roll.
that's what they're aiming for. Lou Wicks would like that, and then he's going to go up and get inducted into the NIU Hall of Fame on Saturday.
that.
So
Cool.
From that, I remember that bowl. I'm
America's
old.
most exciting bowl.
Give me a pick.
I'm going to go with DMAC. I don't quite think they've got it. They'd like to upset them, but I think DMAC's got it.
I'm taking the DMAC as well. And
Turks.
I'm taking Washington in a close one over Springfield.
Washington.
I'm going to take Springfield with those guys sitting.
I'm taking Washington. Springfield's a fraud. Okay. The games that have playoff implications, we got to get through a lot. Pardon me. East Peoria at Peoria High at Peoria Stadium. That's Triple Peoria.
I like East Peoria in this one, although they'll be down starting quarterbacks Steve Weaver and a lineman and a sort of a part-time fullback running linebacker.
That is just terrible timing.
Some
How do
athletic code
you
violations.
have one of the best seasons in modern history and go, let's just not do it now?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's just kind of an unfortunate
Yeah.
timing for that thing. You hate to put a damper on such a good season with that type of thing. And I don't really, to be honest, I don't know if it's going to affect their season that much, aside from obviously a kid not being able to play for the rest of it.
They
When
were
it
still going to go
comes-
5-4 and draw
Probably
going to
beat Central anyway, and then draw a top seed, perhaps Metamora or Richwoods if they fall to 5A.
Yeah.
So that's a
Pickett.
East Peoria.
East Peoria.
I've had a cough all week. Sorry. No cough button on this thing either. Richwoods goes up to my alma mater, venerable Howard Fellows Stadium.
Great stadium. Love that stadium.
It is. It's a very, very good stadium.
I've never
Like
been
ours
Howard.
here in town, it was a WPA project back in the day.
But theirs just stayed in a lot better shape.
True. It had a big makeover a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Can OP rise up and do anything?
Probably not. I just don't know if they're going to be able to score on Richwoods. I think in a situation where Richwoods just needs a couple touchdowns, it seems like the way they're playing.
Yeah.
The most touchdowns they got up this year was 3, and that was to QND, and 1 was in overtime.
Yeah.
So, and those are almost gimme touchdowns in overtime. It's just a matter of who misses an extra point when it comes to the way it works out. But
Couple Knights picks.
Yeah, Richwoods.
Oh, can't go with the Cavs. I think the Knights. They might fight them, but they probably have quit a little bit. LP, they got to be a little deflated. Canton's going to try to get to 5-4 with the aforementioned Big Bad QND coming. A great little season-ending rivalry those two have. Seems like a tall order for the Little Giants here.
Yeah, it really is. It's a tough. I mean, it's a situation where they've played that a few years ago when Canton had their top teams. It was a great matchup, where it was sort of a tough ground team against a tough air team, and it was always one of those battles in the season. But I mean, it's just Canton had to get one of those wins in the midline that they failed to get. A game against East Peoria or a game here and there that they missed out on.
They just didn't.
No.
So
like
a couple QND picks.
Yep.
QND.
Pekin and Galesburg, the 4-4 Streaks. They're going to get to 5-4, aren't they?
I think they're going to get to 5-4, but they might still not get in. I
Yeah.
mean, that's kind of deflating to know that might happen, but that's a very real possibility at this point.
Yeah, they have 32 playoff points, and
Western-
they'll probably pick up another maybe. Well, the problem is in their playoff points,
Yeah.
they can't pick up. They only pick up like 2 or 3 because the Dunlap and Rock Island Alma play each other, and it's
Yeah.
like where they're guaranteed a couple, but that's all they're going to pick up. And I think you need about 38 or so.
The
to
Western
get in
Big
the
Six
playoffs.
isn't helping anybody this year.
No.
Anyway, Pontiac and Metamora before we're through. What are the implications
This game
there?
was sexy
Pontiac
before the
trying to
year
get to
started.
5-4?
No, Pontiac cannot go 5-4 with this.
Okay, we just
They-
say it's interesting because it used to be.
Yeah, it used
Right.
to
Well,
be.
it was a situation where it was a quarterfinal game from last year that they're playing.
You and I were at
they're
that
playing
game.
for 2
Great
years.
game.
It was a great game, and a situation where Pontiac needed to win last week. They played U High and sort
That's
of
tough.
a,
U-High's
sort of a
awfully good.
resurgent U High, and they lost that game 14-10 late. But they needed to come in this game at 5-3.
Yeah.
Coming in at 4-4 is just not gonna
But
happen.
when you lose as much as they did before the season even
Yeah,
started,
they lost a lot of injuries.
to be
Both
4-4
quarterbacks.
is
For the 9th time in as many weeks, we
Metamora.
sing Metamora.
And this is a game that I picked them to lose at the start. When I did my predictions at the start of the
Yes,
year.
you did.
I was going to have them lose this game, but
Wow.
obviously I was wrong.
You've gotten help since then.
Some rapid fire other games. We have 2 Thursday games. Notre Dame's down at Lamphere.
I know nothing about Lamphere, but I'm going to go with Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Okay, then we know a little something about Lamphere.
Yeah.
And Springfield Southeast lugs itself up to Peoria Stadium tonight to play in the rain
That's all Woodruff
against
all the time.
Woodruff.
Woodruff's going to hold them to about 12 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to get. This is going to be a get-right game for them.
Manuel's like seemingly 10th game of the year at Richwood Stadium. This time it's against Lincoln.
How did we not send Phelps to cover this, by the way? That's the Beast and Bomber has to go see the Railers.
we have an employee here who is from Lincoln, and he's a large Railers fan. And I'm from East Peoria when they used to play in Week 9, but they don't anymore. But now Lincoln gets to beat up on Manuel in Week 9 instead of East Peoria like they used to.
Lincoln and beat up in football.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
So we're picking Lincoln.
Railers.
The full court press is too much for
Yeah,
Manuel.
it's the 1-2-2. They're gonna spread that out.
Manuel never does do
Second-
well against
secondary
that Virgil Fletcher ball press. IBC at Limestone. One team's in, one team's out.
Ghosts.
Ghost, Limestone just can't score enough against. I've
Liesse
seen
and
it win.
Lauber back. They both scored twice. last
Jersey
week.
at Morton.
Morton.
Morton gets nice little ending to a tough season.
Finished with a win. And Alleman, who is a pretty good team. I didn't mean that before. No, they're 4-4 and they're playing.
Back it up.
Welcome to the political
No.
portion where we can cross over anything we want.
I saw them. They're 1-0 when I saw them. They beat Notre Dame. They're at Dunlap, which is we've already gone over how they fix things.
Dunlap doesn't want to be 5-4 and miss the playoffs again, like they did 2 years ago.
They'll finish up 6-3, no
They'll
problems.
finish this nice, and that could really help for seeding purposes. This could be a nice. They could get a nice path in 4A and maybe make a quarterfinal game if they get the right path.
This is the big week. We got the pairings. We'll be here, putting out a paper and online all night Saturday. The IHSA says it, we'll make fun of it or something. Or we'll try to interpret it. But these guys will be blogging that night. We'll have everything with the games outlined on Sunday morning. And, of course, before that, we'll have all our game coverage from this array of games Saturday morning. Thanks, and bye-bye.